In the season opener for the NFL, the Eagles have beaten the Dallas Cowboys 24-20. It was a weird game with the Lightning. A lot was going on, but still, the Eagles got a dub. Let's discuss it. Like I said, this was a weird game. Things were flowing. Everything was going well. There was a lot of back and forth, especially if you were a neutral just to the game. You know, you like football. This was a perfect game to watch. Again, teams were scoring. Even Dallas was up at one point of the game, 14-7, I think in the second quarter. But then as we were going through the third quarter, literally right after the Eagles had just forced a fumble, there was lightning in the Philadelphia area. They had to call the game. I can't remember how long they had to call it for, but pretty much we had to wait, I think, 45 minutes to an hour just to get the game back on. And it felt like even when the game was back on, and again, I'm a diehard fan, I wasn't even at the link. It just felt like there was some energy loss. I mean, there was no more flow. Obviously, the players had to warm up. They had to go, kind of get back in the flow of things. I had to get back in the flow of watching the freaking game. The link didn't look like it was sold out because I'm sure some people had to go home because, people got to go to work. And it was a late game and all that. So, overall, again, it was an interesting game. I'm glad the Eagles got the dub, but I really felt like that weather really threw things off, at least for me personally. Now let's get into some positives. This is a very obvious one. The Eagles are back. I mean, the Eagles are back. The Super Bowl champs are back. And I'm just so glad that the Eagles are back, every week. And this goes for the rest of the NFL as well. But obviously, again, they're my team. But it's just so good to see them back on my screen. All the familiar faces, some of the new guys as well. Again, it's just so good to be back. College football's back. Again, the Premier League's been back. We're gonna have baseball playoffs in about a month. We're just entering that period of where sports are really picking up, and I just love it so much. I'm just, again, so happy that the Eagles are back. Another cheeky positive before we get into the players, having that banner lifted in front of, again, the stadium, national audience, and especially in front of Jerry Jones. It felt good, man. Just seeing a second banner go up. I've already been past the stadium over the spring, and they've had some stuff there. They already had a whole thing in front of the stadium where it was like, I don't know how to describe it, but it had two Super Bowls. It had two Super Bowls. And just seeing that the Eagles, I know they have two Super Bowls, but just seeing not one Lombardi, but two Lombardis, it just feels good, man. It feels good that this is, considered one of the elite organizations in the NFL. And again, I'm a younger guy. I haven't been around forever. I didn't go through, all the struggles with this team in the early 2000s where they were knocking on the door every year and they just didn't get it done. No, I've been blessed to see my team win 2 championships in under 10 years. It's been one hell of a ride. And I'm just so grateful that I've been able to watch all of it, honestly. And I'm in, again, I've told my friends this, told people I know personally, we're in the golden age of Eagles football. And I'm just so excited, again, that we're in another year where this team is going to compete, hopefully for a Super Bowl. And it just, again, seeing that banner go down, it just felt so good, man. So good. The 2024 team deserved it. But now, of course, we have to move on. But it was really cool to see that. So now we're going to actually talk about the team. Jalen Hurts, I thought he had a really good game yesterday. Nothing crazy, but I thought he had a pretty good game. 19 for 23 passing, 152 yards, no passing touchdowns, but he had 62 rushing yards on the ground and 2 rushing touchdowns. And he also had some crucial first downs throughout the game. Some third downs where he was scrambling to make plays, and he even iced the game pretty much with that last scramble. Again, I thought Jalen played a great game. No turnovers as well. He played smart. Didn't really have too many balls that could have been intercepted. Overall, I just thought that he looked good. He looked composed. Played his brand of football. Played the type of brand that the Eagles want to play. Again, possession. Don't do too much. You have this talented of a core. We don't have to go for, the dagger every single time. But I also thought that he still did take some chances. He had that really nice deep ball to Dotson as well. So it's not like he wasn't being aggressive. He was just kind of taking what Dallas is giving him. And again, was making the most out of some of these rushing lanes, extending plays, making plays on his legs. Overall, I thought Jalen Hurts did a really good job, and I really liked what I saw from him last night. I thought overall that the offense was flowing pre-delay. It definitely was flowing. Again, this was a borderline shootout for the first, really until almost the the delay, like both these teams are going back and forth. I was like, is anyone even going to punt in this game? Again, I thought the offense had a lot of flow. It was a mix of both passing and running. Again, getting Jalen involved, getting Saquon involved, getting Shipley involved, even a little bit of carries to A.J. Dillon. Like, I liked what I was seeing. So they were spreading the ball around as well. I just liked what I saw from the offense. Obviously, we will talk about negatives, but at least prior to the delay, I really liked what I saw. And just building off that point, again, they were getting guys involved. Dallas Goedert and Jahan Dotson specifically. Dallas Goedert, he had 7 catches for 44 yards. I know that's nothing crazy, but he usually was not getting involved much last year. So to see that he was getting that many catches, that was great. And again, Jahan Dotson, he had 3 receptions for 59 yards. Again, nothing too crazy, but the fact that he was creating separation on that deep ball, it was a great route, great catch. I just like seeing him getting involved because you can't constantly rely on Smitty or AJ. There are going to be times where they're not going to be coming through. Honestly, they didn't really necessarily have the greatest night last night, but that's okay. And you have other playmakers that you can rely on. So again, I just like that other guys were stepping up last night. I thought Barkley as well had a solid game. Nothing again too crazy, only 60 rushing yards, but he did have a really nice touchdown. One of the bigger positives for me personally was, again, not the craziest stat, but he had 4 receptions for 24 yards. One of those where he had the nice little one-handed catch and extended it for a first down. I really want to see Saquon get more involved in the passing game this year. I think he's obviously the best running back in football, but some of the things I think you can say that, Gibbs or I'm trying to think of who else is another really, really good receiving back. I guess even Bijan. Those two really, I would say, are just better receiving backs than him. And obviously, Saquon is very good. We all know how good he is. He carried this team at times last year, 2,000 yards. We know all the stuff. But at times, I feel like the Eagles just did not get him involved as much as I would have liked to in the passing game last year. And if that can maybe grow and expand a little bit, I don't see how that doesn't make the offense just a little bit better this year. So overall, I liked, again, just seeing him get involved. Again, I thought he had a good game. Nothing too crazy, but it was not a bad performance by any means. Now on to the positives for the defense. I thought overall they played all right. Nothing crazy, but nothing, great either. But definitely in the second half, I thought that they stepped up. They didn't allow a single point in the second half. They also forced a huge turnover right before the delay. Jahad Campbell, the rookie, getting involved, punches the football out. Of course, Miles Sanders fumbles the football. Love Miles Sanders, but that's why we moved on from him. Couldn't carry the ball very consistently and was not much of a north to south runner, was more of an east to west type of guy. So, hey, Miles, I appreciate you helping us out one more time. But yeah, it was great seeing Campbell force a fumble. Q almost had a touchdown when he recovered it, but honestly, a great tackle by Dak. But overall, I thought they made some plays there. Also, I thought that they did a decent job of generating pressure without Jalen Carter. Again, they just didn't capitalize on some of the sacks. They didn't capitalize on some of them. Jordan Davis should have had at least 1 sack. He got out of one. I think Ajomo maybe would have had another sack as well. They weren't necessarily generating a ton of pressure, but still, I like that they were at least getting there without their best player. And again, you're missing now Joshua. You don't have Brandon Graham anymore. So I want to see how this D-line does. I thought that they played all right. Again, it was not an elite game, but they were generating pressure at times, and I did like to see that. The team also had multiple chances to get an interception. So many guys were dropping picks last night. I don't even know if you necessarily want to call that a positive because we need guys to catch the football, but it was good at least seeing them, get in the position to intercept the ball. It means that they're doing something correct. They just got to finish. So we'll see how that goes moving forward, but they were at least, creating turnover type plays. And again, I didn't touch on it as much as I wanted to in the segment prior, but Jahad Campbell overall, I thought he did really good. He looked good in coverage. He's making good tackles. Again, forcing a fumble. Had really good coverage on Jake Ferguson on that one play where Jake was running the seam route down the middle. I mean, what a freaking, what a deflection by Campbell was right there. So I really liked what I saw from him. And I think him being behind Nakobe Dean and Zach Baun as well, I thought that, long term, this could really help him out with development. So really liked what I saw from the rookie. And yeah, just hoping he continues to build on that in the future. And my last positive for this game was Jake Elliott made a 58-yard field goal. He only had 1 field goal to make, and he made it. As you guys know, if you really are tapped in, Jake really struggled from deep last year. He was only 1 for 7. They showed it last night from field goals past 50 yards. And to see him make that first field goal, feels good, because prior to last year, though he came through in the playoffs, he was the most reliable kicker, or one of the most reliable kickers in the NFL. But then he just kind of struggled a little bit from deep range. But to see that he had that last night in a big game, a tight game as well, that was really big. So really, really like to see that from Jake Elliott. Now to go to the negatives. Man, we got to start with Jalen Carter, because it literally was at the beginning of the game. Jalen Carter. I really, really like your game, man. I mean, obviously, we know how good you are. You're on pace to potentially be a Hall of Famer. But again, man, you have to lock in, man. You got rage baited in 4K by Dak Prescott. I know he spit first, but he didn't spit on you. You spit on him. And that was before the game even started. That was before Dallas even ran a play on offense. And you're getting kicked out of the game. You might, I mean, again, we don't know. The information's not out. You might get suspended next week against the Chiefs. Dude, you're supposed to be one of the leaders on this defense. You're one of the best, if not the best player on the defense. You got to be better, man. You got to be better. You have to start leading more by example, and you got to be more mature. I thought you matured. You showed a lot of maturity last year, especially during the Super Bowl run, but that was just not a great sign, man. I hope you honestly do get chewed out by either Howie, Nick, whoever has got to do it. Just to really lock in and just show you, dude, you need to, lock in. You just need to lock in. You need to lock in because you really hurt the team last night, in my opinion, and we're gonna get into that. And you could just feel that his presence wasn't on the field, especially on defense. Like I said, they were generating pressure, but it was not a ton of pressure. And we'll get into the run defense because I really was not in love with that. And in my opinion, that was a huge, or the reason the run defense wasn't so good was because of the absence of Jalen Carter. So overall, Carter, again, you're a fantastic player. You're an elite talent, but you got to be smarter than that, man. You just got to be. So we're going to start with negatives for the offense. Really not much, but A.J. Brown just really was not involved in the game. He had one big catch down the stretch, but still, it was not like it was a big catch. I think it was 6-7 yards. But he only had one catch. Really just wasn't even involved. Jalen wasn't looking his way, wasn't creating anything. Not really what you want to see, but again, we've been here before. I'm not really overreacting over this. We were here, last year. The Eagles are a rushing team. They have the best rushing attack in football, the best O-line in football. So again, do I need to get reactionary about this? No, but we all know how AJ gets when he doesn't get the football for a little bit. Hopefully they can get a little bit more of a connection established early in the season while still balancing the offense. But I'm not necessarily worried about it. At the end of the day, the Eagles are 1-0. You're getting a win. I think they will get him more involved down the road. But it was a little weird to see that he wasn't even getting targeted last night. That was a little strange. My last negative for the Eagles offense was really just kind of post-delay. After the delay, I just felt like the offense was stale. I didn't really see much from it, especially at the end. I didn't know if I was really loving the play calling. I felt like they were kind of passing a little too much at the end of the game, and it just felt like it got a little stale. I'll take it with a grain of salt because, again, no one was anticipating a almost hour-long delay for this game. But still, I would like to see them execute just a little bit better down the stretch. I mean, Dallas really could have won that game if CeeDee Lamb played a little bit better down the stretch and a couple things went their way. So I think the offense needs to be a little bit better in those situations because not that they really were too bad last year, but we've seen – I was thinking about that Falcons game. I was like, if they blow this game against Dallas, it's going to just be giving me so much PTSD from the Falcons game. So, I'd like to see a little bit more. We'll see what Patullo does next week against Spags on the road. That's a huge spot. But, I don't think it was necessarily the worst game offensively, but I just don't think they finished that strong. Now on to the defense. Some negatives for the defense. As I mentioned, with Jalen Carter being out, the run defense, in my opinion, just looked awful. Now, I looked at the numbers. They actually weren't as bad as expected. It was 119 rushing yards for Dallas. But, man, that first half, it just felt like Dallas was getting every single play to either be a first down or at least a gain of 5 or 6 yards minimum. Williams was just killing you up the middle. It just seemed like our D tackles were really not doing a great job of trying to, close those gaps because, again, they were missing Jalen Carter. Now, Dallas didn't have to double team him every play. And we all know that if Dallas is double teaming him every play, everything else opens up for the entire defense. And you were just really missing him last night. And like I said, I just thought that the rushing defense, it just looked soft to me yesterday. It was really honestly pissing me off watching it. But I expect that to be better when you have arguably the best defensive tackle in football on the field. So not going to make a huge deal about it, but something to monitor moving forward. And my last negative for the defense, Adoree Jackson. Holy hell. Man, you suck, bro. You suck. I don't want to get too reactionary because it was against CeeDee Lamb, one of the best receivers in football. But my God, I can see why I was concerned going into this season, talking about, hey, our biggest weakness is cornerback too. And my God, it is a freaking weakness. I mean, they were just picking on him all night. Every single time I saw Lamb lined up on Adoree Jackson, you knew Dak was going to throw to him. And he had so much separation every play. It just was rough, dude. It was rough. Eagles are really going to have to fix this. I don't see how this can be sustainable long term. There's so many good receivers in the NFL, and you're just going to have to be battling against that. Obviously, you have Q and Coop, but there's always going to be someone that they can put on Adoree and take advantage of that. And he can't play at that level all year, or this team is not going to go where they're going to want to go. So I think the Eagles are going to have to address that. But man, just an awful performance from Adoree Jackson. And this goes for the entire team, not just the defense or the offense or the special teams. Man, 9 penalties for 110 yards. Guys, lock in. There was so much scuffles yesterday, so many scuffles. Again, they hit Nolan Smith with the taunting penalty. Do I think it's soft? Yes, but if that's how the NFL is calling it, you got to be smarter. What else? I guess the Reed Blankenship penalty. Again, I thought that was soft. What was Reed supposed to do? Just let Ferguson catch the ball in the end zone? I don't know. They just had a little too many penalties for me, and those were mainly on the defensive end. Again, it was some holding or pass interference. Just needs to be cleaned up. Team's got to be a little bit more disciplined, and I just didn't think that was really characteristic of what we saw at least down the stretch last year. Now on to Dallas. This will be brief. I thought they played pretty well. I was one of the few people that did not think that the Eagles were going to blow Dallas out. I know people were sipping the Kool-Aid. I know that the spread got up to, I think, 8.5 by game time. I had it being a closer game. I had Eagles 27-20. And I thought Dallas looked good. I thought Dak looked really good. I mean, he was just pretty much perfect last night. He's making a lot of fantastic passes. I thought Lamb looked really good as well. He cooked our corners, but Lamb could have been a little bit better because he just wasn't catching some crucial balls down the stretch. But he still played good. He just needs to make some better catches. But I mean, Dallas went into Philly after winning the Super Bowl and almost won the game. And again, with the delay, I don't know if the delay doesn't happen, maybe they do win the game. I don't know. So I thought Dallas, for what they've dealt with the last couple of weeks with the whole Micah Parsons situation and everything, I thought they looked pretty good. We'll see again how this goes long term with their team, but I think that they at least looked a lot better than most people had them projected. So credit to them. We'll see what they do moving forward, but I got to give it up to them. They did play pretty well in my opinion. That's all I had in this one. Just a recap of the game. I plan on trying to do this every single week. I was trying to do this last year and just didn't really get to it as much as I would have liked. So, I'm going to try to do this every single week. We'll see if I actually stick with it, but I'm going to try. Just overall, happy the Eagles won. They're 1-0. It's week 1. Ugly win, but you get it done. You beat Dallas at home as well. I always love that. It's usually my favorite game of the year at home, so I'll take it. Eagles are 1-0. Football is back. The NFL is back. Just expect a lot more NFL content as well. Just be on the lookout for that. So let me know what you guys think down below of the game. What were your thoughts? If you like this video, feel free to give it a like. If you like my type of content, feel free to subscribe and check out my TikTok in the description down below. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace, guys.